Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Kam Arnold, who will fight on New England Fights 63, August 9th. Hello, Kam. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for taking the invitation. And you will fight against the fighter who right now got around 20 fights. So if you can tell me, because when I checked him, he can be finished, and I think that after your last fight, that you it was actually first fight that you didn't finish. Probably you will be hunting for some crazy knockout. So if you can tell me, how do you feel overall about this fight, and what do you think about this opponent?
Oh man, Charlie is a well-rounded, veteran savvy, tough, gritty, well-rounded opponent. If you check into his history, he had I believe, a 9-year layoff. Um, Still training, still highly active in the gym sense. And skill wise, I mean, this guy is, like I said, he's very well rounded. So he has 9 wins to his credit. He has a 100% finish rate. 8 of 9 wins come by way of submission. Myself, the outside perspective, the people see this great striker. And for those people who have an eye for skill, they'll also see my wrestling ability. Um, you know, so with that being said, I'm highly excited, very excited to be fighting Charlie again. I have massive respect for Charlie, but I do believe I am much better than him in every facet of the game. Obviously, I do believe I'll be able to put him out with my hands, legs, within the clinch. Um, but I don't believe people really respect my wrestling or my jujitsu. Now, granted, they haven't had to see it, and I can't knock them or talk bad on their opinions. Uh, but it also gives me the opportunity to showcase my other talents and the hard work I've been putting in. So, with that being said, this is going to be a big test for me. I'm 6-1 with five TKOs on Tapology. They have one for submission, but it wasn't a submission. It was stopped due to strikes. Um, so that's kind of a little discrepancy in the Tapology report. But outside of that, man, I can do it all. So, and I plan to showcase every bit of that come August 9th.
And about your last fight against Sean Johnson, because it was first time that you fought for 15 minutes. And what do you think about fighting for 15 minutes in this fight? Because I think that you can look at it from two perspectives. One is, of course, like finishes are great, and if it would be like first round knockout, it would be like another one for you. But also you can look at this like fighting for 15 minutes is also like a good experience for a fighter, because you can feel how you can know how do you feel in like 13 minutes or 14 minutes of the fight. So what do you think about it?
Oh man, I welcome the idea. I mean, my last fight, as you just stated, that was my first time seeing the judge's decision. However, the reason why though, is due to a few reasons. One, when I got my opponent Sean Johnson to finally engage, because I was trying to draw out um, commitment. Sorry, you there? I was trying to draw out the commitment from my opponent by hitting him with the calf kick and drawing out a counter. So when he did finally engage within the first round, because I had chopped at his calf about 3 times within the first 30 seconds of the first round, I landed each one. And on that third calf kick, he decided, because obviously calf kicks are a major game changer, and all it takes is one or two. and he decided to come in because obviously early in the fight, starting to take effect early, and I cracked him with a check hook, dropping him to his butt. He got right back up to his credit, and he danced around for the rest of the fight. Now, with that also being known now, in the second round, I had broken two bones, which had, you know, kind of nullified my movement and my aggression. So I kind of sat back, matured in the moment, and kind of relaxed in knowing that I can take this to the judges and be able to pick him apart over the course of the next 10 minutes and pick up the W. Um, because he was in fear of how much pop, how much heaviness and explosiveness I carry within my hands and my legs. Um, it kind of just kept him dancing on the outside and trying to skate away from possibly getting hurt. And with that said, to Sean's credit, he did very good job on trying to counter me, because where most people would counter on the first or second shot, he was looking to counter on the third or fourth shot. Because there's layers to everything, man. And in the beginning of striking, when people start getting good in MMA, they'll throw one, two, maybe three shots at most. But when you start getting to level, especially in the professional ranks, where that first, second shot isn't going to be it to hurt these guys. It's going to be the third and fourth shot, the shot that they don't see coming or they're not expecting. And Sean was very well versed in that area. And it kind of, because the first time he caught me, and I remember thinking, like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing now. And when I broke those two bones, can't really disclose here, but I broke two bones 1 minute and 34 seconds into the second round. And like I said, it just kind of nullified my movement going forward. So I was just trying to corral him on each side, which would make him feel cornered and have to come out and fight. But it was a good experience overall. I needed that in my career. Ever since I first started fighting as an amateur, man, I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, well, what about this? We haven't seen him do this. We haven't seen him do that." He's never been past this round. He's never made it to the judges. Like, how's his gas tank gonna hold up? And I think I got to showcase and answer a lot of questions and what I would consider a lackluster fight for me.
And of course, when it will be after this fight, because right now we are on the nice winning streak. So with one more, it will be a five fights winning streak. So after the fight, after this fight, what do you think should be next for you? Do you have like goals for your career for like near future?
Oh, absolutely. Um, obviously, as we know right now, I'm 6-1. August 9th, I take care of business. I get to 7-1. Um, and me being in that position, I'm not sure what part of the world you're in right now, but being in that position where we're at, anyways, it just kind of puts me in a spot of either getting a very big fight locally, um, and or potentially getting to the Contender Series. I think the one thing that may hold me back is from getting the Contender Series shot after this fight is I need to fight somebody of a better caliber record wise. 9-11 just probably won't do it. It won't be enough, and that's not what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting to get a call after this. And that's not what I'm saying. But it's going to give me another rep in the cage, and it's going to just get me that much more comfortable in displaying my skill set in front of everyone to see, for everyone to see.
And I think that one thing that is really working for you is your definitely your style, because you are not a boring fighter. You have this kind of finishes, knockouts. You are always going for the finish. So definitely this thing is checked. So I think that it is working for you. But I saw also that you had some boxing experience according to like Tapology and BoxRec. You've got two pro bouts. And did you like maybe also in the near future do you plan to add some more, maybe one or two more, or it was like very quick, very fast like career in this sport?
No, man, I would do a boxing match. I mean, with the right money, you know, and kind of building myself up in that regards and increasing my value as a combatant as a whole, I think would be smart and beneficial. Um, However, you know, with me, just say me being 7-1 August 10th, for me to switch gears and refocus and put my energy into boxing when I'm only say 1-1. You know, my pro debut, I fought a kid who was a Golden Gloves champion. You know what I mean? I had no amateur boxing experience. I just jumped right into the pros, said screw it, and fought what was placed in front of me. Didn't go my way. I had him hurt very early. But the one thing that I didn't train for transitioning over, which played a massive effect into me losing that fight, was when I hurt somebody in MMA, I'm like, I jump right on them. You know what I mean? Because any sort of clip after that, just touching them on the chin after they're hurt and rocked, um, can send the fight to the ground, and I'm on top of them finishing the fight. In boxing, when I had hurt the kid who I lost to, I cracked him with an overhand right and followed up with a lead hook. And I remember seeing his eyes open up really wide and like almost going to the back of his head. And he kind of like gave me that stare of like, what the fuck just happened? Excuse my language. And so when I seen that, it's just like that, boom, time to finish him. And I went to go jump on him, and he hit me with a straight right and shut my lights right down. So I came back, ended up fighting another fight in boxing, put on a really good performance, and just beat this kid up for 4 rounds. Showcased some really good movement and skill set and defensive prowess. And, you know, so with that being said, I feel like I'm at the point now in my MMA career where I need to have all my focus on that right now, but I'm not setting aside boxing to the point where I'll turn it down if the right fight comes up or if enough money comes up. I'm like, yeah, I like to do that. Or perhaps maybe I get an offer to go fight down in Miami. I'd do that. You know, take my kids, take my wife down there and get a good fight, get a good payday. Um, but yeah, my focus right now is getting to the Contender Series.
Yes, but in the end, I think that it's good to have this kind of experience, even if your career as the boxer is done, you still try it, and you had the chance to experience it, and it's
Exactly.
definitely added value.
Yes.
And going back to your MMA career, if you can tell me what was the first gym that you went to when you started your overall MMA training, and if this is the same gym that you are in right now.
So the first gym I've ever entered into was this place called Central Maine Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in Lewiston, Maine. Just a small little jiu jitsu school. Where I'm from, I never knew fighting was possible. I never knew that you could train and chase what I've always wanted to do. I never thought you could do that, you know. So it took me being at my lowest, one of my lowest points in life, moving to an area, um, and finding out that there was this gym there that you could train to fight and learn how to fight. And so I went there, I trained there, took my first amateur fight, I believe 3 months into training. Won by way of knockout in I think a minute into the first round. Um, and the rest is kind of history from there. I've had a lot of success. But to answer your question, the where I train now is not at the same place. I had left that gym approximately 2 years into my training. Once I realized my success and I felt everything I've already known about myself through fighting and through the success I had early in my amateur days. Um, my goals were already in place of getting to the UFC and hopefully becoming successful there and winning fights and staying there. Um, But obviously, when you first start out as an amateur, you have certain checkpoints along the way and certain goals that you have to obtain and crush along the way to get to that point. So once I started aligning my goals as a fighter, I then realized, the people around me and their goals weren't the same. So instead of remaining in a spot where I'm not going to be able to grow, or there's going to be um, my development is going to be held back due to these goals of others, and I'm a young fighter. Um, I then took it upon myself, trusted within myself, and moved on to another gym. You know, we had a great run there. And uh, I was there for about 3 years, I believe, 3, 4 years. And the team just kind of fell apart. Everybody kind of went their own ways. Um, and COVID also had a big part in that too. Being shut down. So when everything started picking back up again, I had gone back to a boxing gym in Lewiston, Cugno Boxing, where I currently train now. Um, I also train at Fusion Excel down in Orlando, Florida. I go down there probably about 3 times a year. Just spend about 2, 3 weeks there and elevate my camp down with those guys. Um, I periodically stop at Evolution Athletics here in Saco, Maine. Um, and I also started my own fight team, Hooligan Fight Club. I'll be having my first fighter, Carlo Oliveira, making his amateur debut on the same card I'll be fighting August 9th. So I'm kind of spread all throughout. I represent right now Fusion Excel, Cugno Boxing, and my fight team, Hooligan Fight Club.
So it's like great mix of everything, small gym, big gym, and even like having your own team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which I think is you're starting to see become more common amongst like great fighters and people that want to take the next step, you know. Um, I think it's far too often, especially where I'm from in this state. Uh, I feel like MMA as a whole is stuck 30 years ago, and you have to train with one guy your entire career under one roof with 4 people. And if you cross train, it's like you get blackballed. You know what I mean? That's not how I go about things. And I believe that is what separates me from these guys. These guys they just get to a certain point within their career and then they just kind of go stagnant and they stop getting better. They stop looking to get better, and then they'll use that as an excuse to then um, take a different venture, as far as job wise, which isn't a bad idea, you know what I mean? But I think I catch a lot of flack for being myself in that regards and believing in myself when I also see the proof is in the pudding as far as how far I've come and where those guys have stayed.
Okay, Cam. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. I
Yep.
think that with your style, it definitely there is a big chance for a finish. And I hope that after the fight, after the win, the like big fight, big opportunity will appear for you because I think that you should get this kind of chance.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me again. If you don't mind, I'd love to take a second to thank my sponsors. The list of sponsors to thank: Arnold's Crystal Clean LLC, Venture Wild Tattoo, Toy Plumbing, uh, Finesse Hardwood Flooring, Cutter's Edge Hydro Seating, Higher Calling, Motorcycle Club, Rob's Bait and Tackle, Gary Rowe Jewelry, Bell and Williams Associates, Forever Two Wheels, Joseph Shaw Real Estate Broker, Captain Jack's, Athlete Armor, Jason Brown's Roofing, Ray Construction, Harmon Homes and Remodeling, Hooligan Fight Club, Cugno Boxing, and thank you, Fusion Excel. And thank you for having me today.